just actually checking sound and waiting for Facebook to go live, but it actually happened on Friday the 13th, 5 p.m. Here in Europe, here in Germany. You are the second guest on the show that is able to drink with me. Only Molly Pittman, who is here in Amsterdam, she was drinking wine, and actually we got drunk sort of downtown before this whole COVID thing happened, tequila and stuff. So, but that's sort of just for the record. You are the second one who can drink beer with me on this Geek Out session. Manuel Gick, welcome to the show. Good to have you here.
Thank you very much. Nice being here.
Yeah. We've known each other for a while. This has been in the works for a while as well, and now it's actually happening. Just for everybody who doesn't know Manuel, I got introduced to Manuel by Josh Barkin about a year ago. Josh was on the show probably a couple months ago, and my question was, hey, I need somebody who can help me kickstart my learnings when it comes to Dialogflow, AI, and all that. And one of the names he mentioned was Manuel. Manuel is in Germany. That's awesome. I'm in Amsterdam, so that was an easy fit. And Manuel helped me and is still helping me with all kinds of automations in terms of automations for Dialogflow, amazing scripts in Google Sheets where you can do all kinds of magic and build, I don't know what. It's this guy is sort of out of this world when it comes to automations and Integromat. And I'm not going to say Zapier, but because his thing is Integromat, and that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to dive into Integromat. We're going to answer all your questions you might have about Integromat or even about Zapier or the difference between the two. So enough said. Manuel, again, welcome to the show. Want to pop a beer first?
Yes, for sure.
Let's
I'm thirsty.
What are you drinking? You're drinking German. I'm on the
of course, it's German.
Nice. Nice. I'm just going to open up. Oh, there you go.
There we go.
So, cheers.
Cheers.
Health. Too bad we couldn't do this sort of in real life, but there we go.
We will be able to soon.
Oh, there we go. Friday afternoon. I love it. It's been a while. It's been a while since we did these Geek Out sessions, so it's good to get this back. Good to get this back on the road. Dude, tell us a little bit about the method behind the madness. How did you get into all this, sort of the automations, the integrations, all that? Tell us a little bit more about who you are and how you came to be.
Yeah. All right. So first of all, thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for having me. And I have started out with chatbots back in the days with ChatFuel. And back in the days, ManyChat was still known as ManyCrash. So but this evolved and ManyChat got a lot better. So I made the switch over to ManyChat, and then I hit limits pretty soon because I always want to be some sort of free and like develop my own solutions and like integrate more things. So I was looking for more ways how I can make my chatbots even smarter and integrate various systems, databases, CRMs, and whatever. And I looked into Zapier, and I wasn't happy with it. I felt like...
How could you not be happy with it?
I felt like it's still limiting me. I mean, it's cool, right?
All good.
What's happening?
It's all good. Everybody's still like...
I mean, it's cool, but it wasn't enough for me. So I was looking more around, and it was almost like 4 years ago, and I discovered Integromat. It was very early days of Integromat, and I fell in love with it instantly because it's a visual, no coding platform. I'm a very good logical thinker, but I'm not a coder. So for me, it was like the perfect platform because I just had to build logic connections and connect one module with another, and it would just work. So it was perfect for me, and I digged into it. I put, I don't know, like thousands of hours in learning this platform by trial and error and developing all kind of things. Like, for example, once I developed a chatbot for a game that was for betting on basketball games, and then it dynamically pulled in, it was a game where you can bet for the score, and then it automatically ticked off the score because on an image and returned that to the chatbot. And then you can also only like bet on empty slots for future clients. So that was pretty fun to build, and like these are all just possible with Integromat. So the documentation on Integromat or the learning curve can be really steep when you're coming from Zapier or have no knowledge at all. So I decided, or like the documentation on Integromat is not that good as well, or it wasn't. It's improving already, but a lot of people just said, I have no idea how to do that, and there's no tutorial about this. So I decided I have to help others.
That's one of the issues, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a hard time, and I'm a hard time in a way because I know a lot of people look at Integromat, and that's also where it stops. Okay, hey, let's have a look at Integromat. I heard about Integromat, the other Zapier or whatever, and then you look at it and you're like, holy crap, this is sort of a tech platform, just like sort of if a ManyChat guy or girl looks at Chatfuel, like, okay, well, now they have the flow builder and everything, but it's just different, and it's daunting. It's something that needs a little bit more explanation to actually understand what it does, and that's why I have you here. And to be honest, I still fall back to Zapier for a lot of things, and that's just because I think it's sort of dialed into my system. But what I've learned in the last couple of weeks is that if you spend a little bit more time in sort of researching and what you just said, sort of get up that learning curve for Integromat, it makes more sense. It's more flexible. It's the layout is different. You say it's visual. Yes, it's visual. The thing is, when you see it, you see it. And then sort of the layouts you can create make it easier to build these automations, but there's a lot of moving parts. So that's why I wanted to have you here on the show to dive in and give us some clarity on why we should sort of pay more attention to Integromat versus just by default falling back to Zapier.
Yeah.
So what is your if you talk to someone like me? Well, we've been through this process before, but what is your why would you recommend people to spend more time on Integromat versus Zapier? What are sort of the key things, in your opinion, that are better or more efficient in Integromat versus? First of all, guys, we're not sponsored by Integromat whatsoever. This is no affiliate deal, no, nothing at all. This is just Manuel's weapon of choice, and I know he does awesome stuff with it, so that's why I just want to open up the floor for this. What's the key reason why we should pay more attention to Integromat?
The key reason is you can do a lot more things and a lot more complex things in one scenario. So on Zapier, you have like all in one row. It's not visual, and you can't have complex logics and systems built inside of one flow. You have to build multiple steps for that. And in Integromat, you can just combine it all into one and make it really giant and do like all kind of things. You can develop a whole software with this, and that's not really possible with Zapier. I like to compare it to iOS and Android. Okay, all the Apple fans will now kill me maybe, but for me, iOS works perfectly fine. It's a great system, and it's a simple system, right? It's a closed system, and Android is more like the developer version of it. You can do all kind of things with it. It's open-ended. You can do whatever you want with it. And that's like similar to Zapier iOS and Integromat Android. You can do a lot more with Integromat, but it's a steeper learning curve, and you have to understand it first to work with it. And once you have understood it, then it's so much more powerful, and you will just like your mind will explode.
Awesome.
Because you didn't know that it works before, or what you can do with it.
Yeah, and with a lot of things, and I think the same thing accounts for Zapier. You need to spend the time to actually learn and understand how you want to do stuff. You need to plan out your desired outcome and sort of visualize what you want to do, and then start building it. So there are learning curves for both. I agree with Zapier just being more It's more. It looks more polished. It looks sort of. It makes it a little bit more. It's not a. It doesn't have the techie look that Integromat has, but with that techie look also comes sort of a plethora of options and features that Zapier doesn't have. Right on. Now, what we're going to do is you prepared. So what we're going to take sort of the workshop route. You prepared 2 Integromat scenarios for popular use cases, and the 2 use cases we're going to sort of dive in today is how we can use Integromat and the Integromat scenario to validate a phone number in ManyChat. And the phone number validation in ManyChat. Why would you want to use Integromat for the phone number validation in ManyChat? Simple reason. Sorry, ManyChat, but the phone number validation in ManyChat is just not as robust as it could be or should be. So what Manuel is going to show you in 2 minutes from now is how you can use the Integromat scenarios that he actually pre-built for you already. And if you stick around a little bit longer, you're going to get access to all these flows and all these scenarios and all some other good stuff that we have prepared for you. So we're going to show you how to do phone number validation in ManyChat using Integromat. And the other scenario, what Manuel is going to show you guys is how to do an order lookup in Shopify based on an actual action in the bot. We're going to talk about. We're not going to dive deep into bots for e-commerce here or e-commerce in general. But one of the main things we see happening with our clients is, especially the e-com clients, is that there are so many questions on a daily basis. Hey, where's my order? And Brad and I build other systems for that with the B4E system, but that's sort of a different show. But Manuel is going to show you how you can use Integromat sort of to just fulfill that specific need. Order lookup based on an action in the bot in Shopify, and then return a specific value. So those are the 2 scenarios he's going to show now. In the meantime, if you have any questions, just drop them in the comments. We'll be moderating the comments, and we'll take it from there. Manuel, did I miss anything? These 2 scenarios, what you're going to show first, and probably have some other stuff as we go. But for now, we want to dive into this.
Yep. Sure. All right. Let's go.
Let me pull this up on the screen. Hold on. And do the magic. There we go.
Okay.
So we got the screen.
We got the screen now.
Yeah, I can see your screen.
All right. I've prepared 2 flows on ManyChat. They are pretty basic, but they are demonstrating the concept behind it. I just give you a demo first to show you how it looks like and what is happening. So we have this flow over here. We ask for the order number, then we send it off to Integromat.
This is the order lookup flow?
Yes, this is the order lookup flow.
Okay, cool.
It's visible, right? Yeah. And then we get back a value if the order ID was actually found, and then we have 2 different messages based on if it was found or not. So this is like the whole concept. And what it looks like on Integromat is like this. So we get the data from ManyChat, then we filter out the order ID from whatever the user wrote. So he can write a whole book and then include the order ID somewhere in there, and we will extract it. Then we will look it up on Shopify if we can actually extract it. If not, we just send it back to ManyChat, and then we send back the details to ManyChat. How it looks like live, I will just demonstrate it right now once. So I preview this flow, and then on Messenger, it asks for the order number. So I say my order number, order number is, and then for example, I think this one exists.
We don't see your Messenger on the screen, Manuel.
No.
Oh,
that's a pity.
Well, do you have it in the other tab? Is it on?
No.
Could you not open up? Oh no, it's in. No, are you not able to open it in the browser?
I think I've to stop my screen sharing probably. Wait 1 second. Let me stop my screen share. And yeah, I just shared my. Okay, now it should work. Can you pop up my screen again? Yes, there we go.
Yeah, awesome.
Okay, we don't need this. All right, so we have the what is your order number here, and then I say my order number is whatever. Let me pull up Integromat so we can see it live because that is very satisfying. Then I press enter, and now you can see, okay, it ran through here. Okay, here's the current order status for order number 1126, which is what I typed in. It got extracted here. The order status is currently fulfilled. And for full details, hit the button below, and this sends me directly to the order status page on Shopify. But I can get back like any details I want, for example, value or product or whatever.
Yeah.
And then this start over is just for demonstrating for testing purposes. All right. So how does this work? I will set this all up from ground with you now, so you can actually get some sort of an idea how this works. All right, on Integromat, we just create a new scenario. What we need, or here are all kinds of systems that you can integrate. There are tons of pre-built ones already, and it's very easy to connect to them. You know it from Zapier probably, if you know Zapier. A big difference also is that Zapier on average has like 3 possible things that you can do per integration. And Integromat on average has 16 possible actions you can do per integration. So like they have maybe less in total, but they're a lot more deeply integrated. So what we need...
What you just said, Manuel, because that's an important thing. Is that my sound or your sound that
oh, wait. It could be my screen. Test now.
Hello. Yeah, cool.
Okay,
so that's an interesting point you raised there, and probably a reason if you're not able to get something done in Zapier, which happens, and if you're still stuck to Zapier, but check out Integromat, because there's a fair chance that Integromat does have the scenarios available for what you want to do. I don't have any sort of specific examples right now, but I do know that what you just said is where Zapier maybe offers 4 or 5 options to do specific automations for that same app. For that same tool, Integromat might have 10 or 12 automations available. So that's definitely another reason to check Integromat as well.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so we're using webhooks. There's a ManyChat app as well. I'll just select it here. We can use that as well, but that's, again, for me, a little bit limiting, especially when it comes to sending data back into the chatbot. So then I like the webhook as the better option, because then we can set multiple custom fields and save operations, and operations in the end saves us money. So I like to use webhooks instead of the ManyChat app. But I'll show you how it would look like. Then we also want to look up Shopify. You could look up anything like WooCommerce, for example, if you have WooCommerce, or any other order system. There are a bunch of them.
All right. Not sure it has to be Shopify.
Yeah. In our case, it's Shopify. So then I have this interface. This is my starting module with this clock on it. I can select what I want to start with. For example, with Shopify, I can say, okay, watch orders. If a new order comes in, then I want to kick off this automation and do whatever I want to. Then for ManyChat, I can watch incoming data. Then there's the trigger on ManyChat. I'm not sure if you have seen it already. If you have a connection to Integromat, then there's an action trigger in Integromat. I don't use it because of the reasons I mentioned before. So I'm using the webhook instead. So we need a custom webhook, and I just create a new one, and I name it Geek Out Order Lookup Demo, and then press save. Okay, right now we get a URL which we can put into the external request or the dynamic response or dynamic message in ManyChat. And it's currently spinning over here, so it's waiting for data because it doesn't know yet like what custom fields we have on ManyChat. So we have to send it once first, so it gets the data of your chatbot. This is this block over here. So we have the dynamic content block. I just replaced this for now with the webhook we just set up. And then we include in the body the full subscriber data, so we get everything in there. And we just test this request. Then we are over here. it says successfully determined. So,
So
it
maybe one
received.
step back. Could we do this one sort of a little bit slower? So what we do is we create the trigger here is a webhook. We create the webhook like you just did. So that's just super simple. Click add, give it a name, click publish, boom, we got a webhook.
Yep.
Awesome. Then you go into ManyChat and you create an external request.
Yeah, it's a dynamic content. So the difference between the action block external request is it's just one way, and the dynamic content, it's expecting data to come back. So it's waiting for the response for 10 seconds. And if it's not getting a response within 10 seconds, then you can use the fallback step. Otherwise, like, it will only continue when it has the data back. So that's why I'm using dynamic content.
There once more. Could you open up the block there?
Yes.
So then there's the request type, post. Is it by default set to post or get?
It's by default post.
Okay, cool. So we just dropped the URL in there.
Yeah. And then for body, we add full subscriber data because we just want everything to be transferred over to Integromat and don't have to add new variables over here if we need more.
Okay.
So we just want everything.
So the request body, that stuff isn't there when you create that external request.
Exactly.
Okay.
Oh no, within external request, it's there as well.
Okay.
You can do that as well. But external request is just one way, so it's not expecting an answer back, and then dynamic content expects an answer back. So that's a big difference. Okay, and then if you click test request, it sends it off to your webhook, and then Integromat knows which data to expect. All right. The next step would be to get out or I can just run it once to see or to show you what it looks like. So I just click the run once button at the bottom left. So now it's waiting for incoming data. And I test this request again. And then I see this one at the top. And if I click on it, I can see all the data that came in.
Exactly.
And all
the data that is being pulled in from ManyChat.
Right.
Awesome.
And all the custom fields and stuff. And now I can do whatever I want with all this data and send it off to a CRM system, for example, with the email address and phone number and whatever.
IDs, whatever,
yeah. Okay, so the next step would be...
Sorry, quick question. What's the reason you chose webhook here and not the ManyChat app?
You can use the ManyChat app for the incoming, but for, let me show you. For example, set a custom field. This is the ManyChat app to set a custom field, but it only allows you to set one custom field at a time. And with the webhook and with the webhook response, I can actually set unlimited amounts of custom fields in one step. And that saves us a lot of operations.
Yeah.
And that's the main reason why I'm using webhooks over the actual ManyChat modules.
Got it.
Yep. All right. So the next step is that we need to
Hey, Manuel, just double checking. Can you still hear me? Okay, you can still hear me. Sorry. Yeah, no, good. Yeah.
modules for those that are advanced in here, because that allows you to do anything the platform offers or the API of that platform offers. All right, so we search for an order. Search for order. It's that one. Now, this doesn't allow us to search for the actually order name. So we have the advanced settings here, and here is order name. So that is where we want to input the output. It's pretty easy to map. So we just click in a text field, and then this message, this window opens, and we can input anything from previous modules. In our case, we want the order name to be here. We could look up the customer ID as well, or create it after a specific date. And we can also say, okay, we want to get only these details back. I won't touch this now, but the limit, we just want to get one order back. But for example, we could get like all orders of a specific customer, or with a specific fulfillment status, or whatever we need, right? So I'll leave it just like this and press OK. Never forget to save. I just run it once now to show you how it looks like right now at the current stage. Since I've already filled this out, I don't have to do this all over again because my custom field is already set. I can just go in here and click the test the request button and ignore this error message. And then over here, you can see it arrived already. We get the details. Then our match pattern, it extracted something else here. Oh yeah, because I already saved the order ID back. Okay, I have to run through the whole scenario. 1 second. So let me run it once more. So the input now was my order number is, and then this 1126, and the output was the actual ID, so 1126. And we can use that actual ID on Shopify to search for the order. The whole sentence, it will probably not work. Or we can save it to a Google Sheet or a database or whatever, where we need it. Then from the Shopify module, we received like one order coming out, and with the details of that order. And now we can use that. We have the fulfillment status, and we can use that and send it back into ManyChat with a webhook response. So this
question about, does this also take the order status into account from specific
your sound is really weird.
Yeah, because hold on. Hello. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. There's.
It's kind of interrupted.
Can you hear me now? Manuel.
Yep.
Okay, it's fixed. Does this also take the order statuses into account from carriers? So let's say the order status is not beyond fulfilled.
Is it in the fulfillment status field, or is it somewhere else?
I'm not 100% sure. It could be in the fulfillment status.
It's probably in here, like tracking number.
But that's because that's data we pull in through our app.
Shipment status.
Yeah, so that's the data we pull in from our app, the shipment status, etc., to give dynamic order updates. So I was curious if you could actually do that with this setup as well.
Yes, you can basically get anything out of this system.
Okay, cool.
What you need.
Cool.
Right. And then we save it back, or we send it back. This 200 just means everything was okay. And in the body, we have, that's kind of a complex thing. We have this thing over here, the dynamic block docs from ManyChat. And this is basically giving us a JSON code, how we can send data back into our chatbot. And I will be using this. I won't explain it now because that's like too much for this, for those that have no idea of it. But I will copy what I have in here and explain that quickly.
Hey, just for the record, Manuel, you have a free workshop, isn't it?
Yeah, I do have a free workshop where I
go into that. What you just do? You actually go into that deeper on the workshop?
I go very deep into the regex part on how you can, for example, extract any parts of an email that you get, an email notification, and kickstart your automations based on that.
Yeah.
But I'm not going into this dynamic response part specifically.
Okay, for those people interested in the workshop, it's a free workshop. Let that be said. It's a free workshop. And Manuel, you can have, how long is it? How many classes, Manuel?
It's like 3 classes long, and it's the replay of my last live workshop. And each lesson is about like 1 hour, pretty much, with Q&As.
So a free 3-hour workshop. If you just follow the link below, guys, techflow, tchflw.ai/botfather, you will be redirected to the free workshop page where you can sign up for the free workshop, and then you can sort of craft your skills from there. Just want to sort of throw that in quickly there.
Yeah, thank you very much. All right. We have this response here from ManyChat. We don't want to send any messages, but we want to have some actions. We want to set multiple custom fields at one go. So this is how we can do it. Set field value, then the field name, and what the actual value is. So we set the order ID to found to true because we found one. Then we want to extract or send the values back into ManyChat. For example, the order ID. The order ID on Shopify is actually this long number here, and not like the order name, which is shown in all invoices and stuff, and which we use for the lookup. So that's the order name is that one here.
Hey, and could you tell us a little bit, Manuel? What could you do this in Zapier? I just opened another beer.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you can you can send this all back with Zapier as well. But
I think it's going to be really difficult to do this, especially because I never done it, and we don't do it through Zapier or Integromat. But I was just wondering if this is specifically to Integromat that makes this possible.
I think this part is still possible on Zapier, but I will show you more parts, which is probably very complicated to do on Zapier. All right, and just let me finish this quickly. So we have the fulfillment status that we want to get out, for example, and then like the order status URL over here. So I just did it like this and press OK, and now it will save back these values to my chatbot. And that's basically the whole setup to look up the order ID. And now we want to include some sort of fallbacks if, for example, we can't extract the order ID, or if we can't find an order. Then we want to, of course, do something else, because then we don't get these values, and we don't want to continue. We want to continue with a different flow or different messages inside of our chatbot. Mm-hmm. All right, so first we can add a router. So this is where the fun begins.
Hey, just to interrupt you before you dive in deeper. So the good news is that these scenarios and flows you just demoed will be available for you guys. Let me just throw that on the screen quickly. So if you would go to this URL, live.yourbotfather.com/Integromat, you will trigger a messenger flow. In the messenger flow, you will get just one message with 3 buttons, and one button actually leads to a Google Sheet where you can download these Integromat scenarios, where you can get these ManyChat flows, and where you can link to the workshop as well. So I'm just going to leave this on the screen here for the free templates. Let me just do it like this, free templates, because you don't have to rebuild this, guys. You can actually just build this.
Just to demonstrate you that you understand how I built this, or how you can build this.
So there it is, free templates. Just follow the link, and then you can actually access exactly the stuff you can see here on the screen, and you can just import it to your accounts. So sorry, man.
No worries. Thank you very much. All right. So now I just set up a different route if we can't extract the order ID. So I just clone this module, and then we have this fun thing which is called a router. So a router basically splits up your automation, and you can have unlimited paths. So you can do unlimited actions in one scenario here, or one after another, just like that. So it will first process this one, and then it will go into this step here. We can set up filters on each path to say, okay, if the data is like this, then we want to go that way. And if it's like that, then we want to go this way. Okay, so this is one of the powerful things that it can do on Integromat. You can build all kind of logics here. To demonstrate you what I mean, for example, I want to say if the order name, this is my condition, then I have a lot of operators that I can use, like basic. I can use text operators, for example, if it contains a specific word or sentence or whatever, or if it starts with, or numeric operators, date time, if it's before yesterday, whatever. I can use all these kind of filters. In our case, we just need basic exists or not exists. So if this exists, that means it could actually extract our order ID. Then we want to continue. So I say order found or order ID found, like this, to give it a name, and then press OK. And now it will only let those data come through that actually found an order. And over here for this step, I can either select like order name does not exist. Then we want to go directly back into ManyChat and say, nope, sorry, that didn't work. Do something else. So like I say, order not found, order ID found, like this. And then for the message, we don't get all these Shopify details, of course, because there wasn't a lookup, and it's also not connected to this module because it's always going sideways. So it's starting left and then going to the right. And you can only access modules that are before this one. For example, we can only access the text parser and the initial webhook in this one because it's not connected after Shopify.
Hey, Manuel, I love it. I love it. Shall we move to the other scenario, the phone validation? I think it's pretty clear for now that what we can do with Integromat and Shopify and the lookup, going to the routers and different paths, that is really going into a rabbit hole. If you want to go into a rabbit hole, I suggest you sign up for Manuel's free workshop, technical.ai botfather, and then you can sort of learn the nitty and gritty of these specific setups. Are you cool with that? Just go. Let's go
for sure.
To the phone number validation.
Okay. Okay, let's leave this for now. And for the phone number, so you get full access to this flow where everything is finished. You can look into it. And then at the end, just one small explanation. I did the same for order ID exists to say, okay, if we found an order, and if not, then we go back to ManyChat. And inside of this, I just say order ID found to false, so it goes the lower path over here, and then you can send any fallback message.
And the other thing is, it's just a little plug for our service here, Bots for E-commerce. If you don't want to build all this and you cannot be bothered by Zapier or Integromat or whatever, just have a look at B4E. And we have this all built in our app, and it's all done for you and working. But that's just sort of on a side note. Let's have a look at the phone validation, because that's pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. So for the phone validation, the big issue about ManyChat is like for the phone number, it accepts like if you put only numbers, but that's not working with the SMS feature because you need the plus symbol, you need the actual country code, and ManyChat has been updated again. All right. So that is why we need this additional integration to verify the phone number and to add the country code to it and actually get the correct formatted phone number out and write it back into our system field in order to use the SMS system properly. Let me demonstrate or show you how it looks like on Integromat. This might look a little bit different, but yeah, it's also not, well, it might look complicated, but it's not too complicated.
It looks a little bit complicated. If you don't know what you're looking at, this looks complicated, but
yeah,
the good news,
I'll explain it.
Yeah, you explain it. And again, we said it before, but these templates are all done and ready, available for you. Just go to the URL we just showed you. It's just going to show it once more. And that is this one. That's this one. Get these templates here, live.yourbotfather.com, Integromat, blah, 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 blah. And you get these templates in full. You can just import them to your account.
All right. I will demonstrate this one first as well to show you how it looks like. Okay, we have the phone number. We ask for the phone number. Then we check whether it begins with a plus symbol or not. Because if it begins with a plus symbol, then it's usually already correct, and we can skip the whole verification stuff to save operations on Integromat and all. In the end, save money. And if it doesn't begin with a plus, we have to verify the actual phone number. And then if it's verified, we send this message. If we can't verify it, then we send, sorry, you couldn't verify your phone number. Please try again in this format. And then, yeah, that's basically the whole flow. This is the concept. You can put it inside of your flows wherever you need it. All right. To demonstrate it, I hit.
Manuel, I got a quick question. Lucas is trying to sign up for the free workshop, but he tells me that the reserve my seat on learn.techflow.ai isn't working. Just
No.
side note. We're looking. Maybe not something we have to do now, but just know that Luke is trying to sign up. But
all right. So we have this flow over here. Please note that by typing in you need the consent phrase, which is called, because to activate the SMS opt-in, you need that consent phrase. We need it in our backend also to update a system field. Without it, we can't do it. So you have to include it before you ask for the phone number. And then we ask for the phone number. And if I type in, for example, the national one, this is my phone number. And if I type in the national type without the country code, let's pull this up here as well so we can see it live again, because it's just cool. And
a lot of people do this. A lot of people do this. You ask them to tap on their phone number, but they just start typing, or they give sentences. My phone number is this, or that.
Okay. Right now, it didn't work. The reason why it didn't work is because I tested it before already and had already a value in my system field. Okay, let me remove this condition for now.
The joys of doing it live. I love it.
Yeah. Okay, let's do it again. Pull this up because I want to see it. And try the number again.
The AI.
Right.
Yeah, there we go.
Now it walks through and it returns the actual number with the German country code, which is +49. And it also pulls or sends back or saves it in the system field, the +49, which is awesome because only then we can send the SMS. Great. So what we did here is we have the webhook set up again.
One step back, Manuel. So this works only if we actually know where this person is from. So if your clients all come from the US or Germany or Netherlands, or I don't know where they're coming from, then what we need to do is, Manuel, correct me if I'm wrong, we need to preset a custom field with the country code value, or with the country sort of a perimeter, so that Integromat knows that this person comes from, let's say, Germany.
Yeah, this is what is coming in this module, which I will explain here. But yeah, good, valid point. Okay, so we get the data in here again, the phone number, and then in this parse the phone number module, we put in. I used last input text, but that's like the last message. It only accepts numbers, so we don't need the other part here. We could just use the last input text. And then we have default country for parsing. This, in my case, is Germany, because the chatbot or the demo is for Germany. But you can also take the map over here, and then you can basically use any country you want. You just have to pass that value in a custom field, for example. So if I click in here and then select a custom field, let's say the Geek order name is actually like the country code, and I save it on ManyChat, I have to ask the user first for the country, and then save it, for example, for United States, you can save it as US. And then we'll look or try to parse the phone number with that country code for that specific country. Like that, you can make it dynamic. If you're just serving one country, you can just select it here from that list. So for example, for United States, like this. And it will also look like for that country's specific phone number formats. All right, so let's go back to Germany and press OK. And now we look at the output. So the input was the phone number with the 0 at the beginning. The country code was DE for Germany. And then we get all these different formats out of that. So we get the country code, we get the number without the starting numbers. Then we get the national format, the international format with the +49, and then the number in whatever format. And this is like most of the time the one we need, because that is the complete number without any spaces, without any special characters, and the country code. And we also get a parameter which says if the phone number is actually valid or not, and if it's a mobile or landline type. So this is very helpful, and you can use any of these numbers if you need them further in your scenario. Do you have any questions about this?
No, it makes perfect sense.
Okay, perfect. All right, and then we go over here. We have this filter again with the router to see if the number is valid, if the phone number is valid. Then we continue. If it's not valid, then we go back into manage it right away. And then this actually updates the system field. This is the Managed API, which you can find over here, api.managed.com/swagger. And we use this last call, update subscriber. You don't have to dive too much into it, but for those that want to know. And we are over here. And then it's a post method, the authorization with the API key of that page.
Hey,
and
Manuel,
then
if somebody takes these templates, these scenarios, what does one have to do to actually make this work?
Yeah. So the only thing to make this work is to put in the default country code, or if you want to have a dynamic, you have to set up the custom field for it and put it in here.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to put your own API key in here. And you have to click the edit symbol here and then swap this out. I won't open it now because then you can see the full API key, and that's like a privacy issue. So I won't do that. And then also, if you want to use a different format and not the one I've selected here, you would have to remove this part and select another format. But like in most cases, this is the one to go, and you don't have to change anything in here. So it sets all the fields for this subscriber with this ID, which came in, and also sets the consent phrase, which I'm setting as a custom field on here. If you want to change that, like that is giving the consent to that you are allowed to send SMS out to this number, and it has to be in there and be sent over to Integromat again with our API call. And then we just send back the phone number, or we send back a message in this case that worked. Here's your phone number. And we also say, okay, verified is true because we actually found that number. All right, so this is basically the whole setup. And I've added some more parts to it. So these two things here, which is also a pretty cool thing about Integromat. And yeah, you get the full access to it. So you don't have to rebuild it. I won't rebuild it right now because I already showed you how to rebuild the other one.
I don't think that's necessary. I think if you don't understand the full method to the madness here, that makes sense. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
It is all pre-built for you. If you want to have it, just follow the URL and you can just sort of import it with 2 or 3 clicks, literally 2 or 3 clicks into your account, whether it's your managed account into your Integromat account. You can have a free Integromat account that works. Yeah, the only thing what you just need to do is you just need to switch to the API key, and you need to set the country code.
And you have to set up your own webhook and then change the URL.
Yeah.
To import the scenarios that I have sent you, or you can download, you can just click on the 3 dots at the very bottom and then click on Import Blueprint. And then you can select the file and then it will pop up over your screen and you will have exactly what I have here.
Yeah, that works super intuitive.
All right, so now like a third thing that I want to talk about, which makes Integromat very powerful, are error handlers. So basically, if you have an error, automatically do that, or automatically like resolve that error, because that happens. For example, in our case, if we have a phone number that can't be found at all, like if it's just a text value or a totally off number, if it's just like 111111111, then the phone number can't be verified. And in that case, it would just break here. Or so we add the error handler by right-clicking on this. Let me show it to you. By right-clicking on any module, then you can add an error handler. So that says, if it fails, then do that. And we have like different Integromat built-in error handlers. The most common I use are break and resume. Break stops the scenario, sends you a warning email, and then it retries it, for example, 3 times after 15 minutes each. That's useful, for example, if you have a timeout error, if the API is busy or something like that, then it usually works after a couple of minutes, and then you can retry it here. Note this won't work with the webhook response because ManyChat just waits 10 seconds for the response. Then we don't, and then we have the resume, this one, but I will demonstrate it later. Then I can also connect my webhook response to it like this and remove it. That's kind of cumbersome if you have an existing module, but like that works. And then I set the phone number verified to false because like it didn't work. I want to continue my flow. So it goes here and the phone number verified is false. So it goes the lower path here and says, sorry, couldn't verify that phone number. Please try again. Or you can do anything else here. So this is the error handler in our case. In that case, then for the update phone number system field, I figured out there was an error when the phone system field is already the exact same value. So then the API responds with an error. But if it's already the correct phone number, then it's okay for us and we can just continue. So I added this error handler, and this basically says, okay, go back to that module and continue if there was no error. And we can also say, okay, we want to infuse some different data. And then we can manipulate it and continue with other data, or we can like try another API call, whatever. So you can build a complete scenario in your error handler. For example, in that case, if I want to add the resume error handler here, I could, for example, like just type in a custom number, and then it will return your scenario with this data instead, if it failed before.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And again, for me, it looks techy, and it's to some extent overwhelming. But that's what I love about these templates. It makes it super easy to import them to your account, and then you already did the hard work for it.
That's true.
Yeah, this is super valuable to have in your bots without a doubt. Is there any chance, Manuel, sort of as a last one, to show how this actually works if somebody types a reply with the phone number instead of just their phone number?
I think ManyChat kicks you out already because we have the reply type phone over here.
Okay, yeah.
So we have this validation. Okay, it must be in that format, and it looks out for a number.
Yeah, cool. Awesome, dude. Holy shit. This is powerful stuff. This is by far the geekiest stuff we talked about so far on these Geek Out sessions.
Yeah, it's pretty geeky. I agree.
Yeah, it is, but it's super powerful. And I truly believe that when you start incorporating this stuff, which might seem sort of on the front end, might seem sort of trivial, but on the back end is pretty complex, you will create and you will build better bots for your clients, for yourself, and that will most definitely help you stand out of the crowd and help you be more valuable. Otherwise, just you can ask more money for your clients. And again, the beauty of this is these are all templates that you can just import it to your account. That's what we were trying to do here. Help you hit the ground running. Manuel, we're closely hitting the hour on this call. Is there anything you want to you can show us sort of in 2 minutes to round this up? And,
one quick thing, I have included in the template. Sorry.
Fireworks, one for the road.
Yeah, one for the road. I've included in the template also like how to extract the Amazon order ID, because I know a lot of people are looking for Amazon or Amazon doing Amazon stuff. So this is kind of a more complex setup here with the regex, But if you sign up for the workshop, you will learn a lot how to work with this code, how to actually build this regex, and then you will understand this easily. And this is the template how you can extract the Amazon order ID and actually get the value out of it. So it will look like 1, 2, 3, and then a dash, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then a dash, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This even works like if the customer puts in their order thank you paid URL, like the full URL in your question, in this question, and then it will extract only that order number, Amazon order number, and then you can do whatever you want with it.
That is super awesome. That is where the value is. When someone replies with, my order number is XYZ, I work with 2 Amazon clients, and what I've done before is by verifying an order number input, we just work with if it doesn't have a dash or if it has a letter, whatever, then it cannot be an Amazon order number. But the number of people that actually typed in, my order number is blah, 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 blah. I bought it from here and there and here, and God knows what. That was always a mess. So I didn't have that back then, but this would have caused me a lot of, didn't cause me a lot of headaches, saved me a lot of headaches. Because this would definitely solve that problem. So if I understand correctly, Manuel, this scenario here is able to extract an Amazon order number from a full sentence.
Yeah. So this is these are examples. They are not connected to anything, but you can like rebuild this this kind of thing. And to make it even easier, you can use this formula. It looks cool. I won't explain it, but it is basically, in the end, it's just a 2-step scenario. So we just need this and the webhook response like that. And then you can save it into a custom field. So it's basically using 2 operations, and that's completely extracting the Amazon order ID from any sentence or anything the user writes.
Dude, you're a wizard. You're a wizard, without a doubt. For everybody who is on the fence about this, just sign up for this workshop. It's free. It's simple. It's 3 hours. It's awesome. I did it too. To be honest, it is still overwhelming for me, but I'm getting my bearings on Integromat to make this sort of more, just to allow me to build better bots and outsmart the competition. So that's sort of the reason for me to get onto this. Dude.
I have one more last thing that I forgot to mention.
Do it.
For every scenario that you build, you should make 2 settings. First setting, allow storing of incomplete executions. What this basically does is if it breaks, then it will be stored in your backups, and you can rerun it and try to resolve it so no data gets lost. This is very important. Yep. And the second setting I love to do on every scenario is click on Show Advanced Settings and then set the number of consecutive errors to something high. Because usually, what Integromat does, if there are many errors or multiple errors, then it will just turn off your scenario, and your data will queue up. But usually, it's an individual error and not like the same for everyone. So I want the scenario to keep running for other people, but just like save that one that failed for me. So these are the 2 settings that you should definitely do on every scenario that you have.
Yeah, there's no way, and that surprised me. There's no way to set that by default. You really need to check advanced settings, check the box, or click the button advanced settings, and then check that check the box store to the backlog, and then add a high number. It surprised me.
That's exactly what I told the Integromat team when I was in Prague in August as well. That was one feedback I shared with them.
It's crazy. I think it's crazy, dude. Let me pull you back on the screen here. Oh, let me do it like this. There we go.
I need some beer.
You need some beer, yeah, dude. Here we go. Can you still hear me? Yeah. Dude, thank you so much for this sort of deep dive in this literally Geek Out session, in this deep dive into Integromat. I'm blown away. Although we've been working together for a while already, you keep blowing me away with the stuff you do and how you do it. It's amazing. Again, thank you so much for your time here and helping us get our heads around this. Guys, for everybody that has been watching this, or maybe you're tuning in later, Everything that Manuel shared and showed can be downloaded through this link here, liveyourbotfather.com/Integromat. You can get all those free templates, import it to your account, and then you're good to go. For now, Manuel, again, I want to thank you tons for your time and for your information. Guys, if you want to dive into this deep, then check out his workshop, techflow.ai, botfather.com, not botfather. Lots of cool stuff there, which should help you get your head around Integromat even further, or really get your head around Integromat. For now, Manuel, thank you. I say cheers from Amsterdam.
Cheers from Germany.
Cheers from Germany. Yeah, so only the second guest who actually drinks with me, so that's pretty cool. Thank you so much. And guys, if you got any questions, just drop them in the comments. We'll be there to reply to them. We're going to wrap it up for now, and then we'll see you on the other side.